So we are back with the one and only Arielle. She came on about 5 months ago because I went and watched our old or our first podcast that we had. And one, I can't believe it's already been 5 months since the last time we spoke. And it also feels like it was yesterday. Like it's crazy how this podcast like slows time down for me, but kind of pushes time the same way when you have kids. You know, like when you become a parent, you're like, oh, I didn't think time moves that fast. And you look over and you have a 6-month-old, or now you have 2, and then my son's gonna be 9, and it's like, where the fuck did time go? But we're here, so that's all that matters. So welcome back. Thank you so much for coming back and chatting with me. I appreciate you being here.
Thanks for having me.
Anytime, any freaking time. But like I told you offline, I want to start off hot. I love this post that you made, and I think it's the perfect place for us to freaking start. So we're gonna dive right in. I love it. We're going to dive right in. And this cute face right here, I can't take this right here.
I know how
it's
cute
so good. All right, here we go.
He's the best.
I mean, if that is not the message of being a freaking mother that needs to change, I don't know what it is. And that's what it is. It's like, you need to do this because you're a mom. You need to go out and get drunk because you're a mom. You need to, tell me, where did this message come from and why was it important for you to share it with everybody?
I think it's one of those things where like, you don't really question why you do things until you have kids. Like I think it just becomes so apparent, like, wait, why do I like, you know, self-numb when I get stressed? Like, why do I don't know, feel like I need to reach for alcohol or weed or I don't know, whatever it may be. And for me, it was just like, I really started to question my own relationship with alcohol when we were trying to have kids, because I had my own health issues before that. I didn't necessarily it's hard to explain, I guess, like where it came from initially, but like I just basically completely transformed my own relationship with alcohol. Like it's one of those things. I haven't had anything alcoholic since like in almost 4 years, I would say. Like since we were like trying to have kids, and I miscarried before we had Shay, and that was 3 years. That was a little over 3.5 years ago. So like for me, it was very much like, I'm going to stop anything that could potentially be affecting this process.
Right.
But then once I stopped drinking, before that, I had taken like bouts, like, you know, you do 75 hard, you do these other things where like you do dry January. And I remember I did 75 hard, and I was like, I went to my cousin's wedding, and like normally you go to a family wedding and like you're going to get drunk with your cousins. Like that was a thing. And I remember going to that wedding and being like, oh, I'm not drinking. I'm doing 75 hard. And like people were like, oh, okay. And I like, you know, you expect it to be this huge thing. Yeah. I mean, I think people joked a little bit, you know, they were like, oh, you don't want just like a sip, or like you can start over tomorrow. And like I got like a couple of comments, and finally I was like, no, I'm like really not trying to start over. Like, I'm just going to keep doing it. And it just opened my eyes to the fact of like, wait, why do I feel like I need to drink to make other people feel comfortable when like they don't even care? They don't even care.
Right.
And so that kind of like started this shift for me. And then once we had kids, I was like, I can't afford to feel crappy because they need me.
Yeah.
And like, there's nothing worse than being tired and your kids needing you, or being sick and your kids needing you, and like being hungover with your, like still needing to like do things for your kids. Like it just doesn't compute to me. I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. And so then I really started to dive into like, why is it a culture of like mommy wine culture? Like, why do all the moms feel like we need to, like, that's the way that we bond with our friends, or like, that's the way that we like wind down at the end of the day? You're not even getting good sleep. I think just like there's, now that I think about it, my mind's spinning, but there's so many factors that went into me being like, I just don't need that. Like, that's not a healthy message. That's not a message I want to send my kids, that like, they're so stressful to me that like, I need now to medicate with something. Like, all of that to me is, it just kind of like all plays into this idea that like, I never, ever, 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 ever want my kids to feel like they are a burden on me, because they are a dream. It is it is one of the biggest blessings in my life to have my children. And I never want them to ever feel, even when I am stressed, even when I am burnt out, I don't want them to feel like it's their fault, because it's not their fault.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I love it. I love just, cause me too, you know, like and we talked about this last time, and I've obviously talked about this multiple times on this podcast. Like, there was a moment that I thought that I wasn't going to be able to be a mom, like carrying my own child. And, you know, Garrett and I never really talked about adoption. We kind of talked about, because I really wanted to get pregnant, and I was like, I'm going to go through all of this stuff and I want to get pregnant. And, you know, one time we did have a conversation, like, if I couldn't physically get pregnant, then she would consider the possibility, but she wasn't even gung-ho really on wanting to experience that for herself, but knew how important it was for us to have children, and also knew how important it was for me to want to carry our child. So I feel, and I'm speaking for her, and I, you know, but I feel like there was a sense of commitment to me that like, I couldn't get pregnant, that she would step in and do that. But that was something that, again, we talked about like maybe once. So the fact that we have an almost 9-year-old, like, it is a constant reminder of the gift that we have with just him, you know, and how long it took us to get there, and the thought that we weren't going to get there, and that we do. And I think that there's a difference between being very honest as mothers and really leaning into how difficult it is. And then, like you said, this culture or this society acceptance of like, children are just burdens. And I don't know when we get there. I don't know how we got there, but I agree with you. I think that there's this shift of like, being able to connect with your mom friends and be like, listen, this is really fucking hard, and I'm having a really hard time, or, you know, my kid doesn't sleep at night, or my kid's not eating, or my kid has been sick for a very long time and I'm exhausted. And I think that there is this like confusion of the two, you know, where you can't just sit down and have an honest conversation. It does come across as like, you are a burden on my life and you are taking too much of my time.
Yeah, I think it's tough because, like, yes, moms need that support. And we have to recognize that, like, it is hard. Like, being a mom is a hard job. It is like the hardest and most rewarding and most beautiful thing that we can do. And like, our kids should never be the ones that you unload that on, you know, like, it's not their fault. They're small, they're little people that like we are in charge of raising. Like, we're in charge of teaching them how to be people.
Yeah.
It's not their fault that they don't know how to be people.
Right.
Like, if I walked into a BJJ gym and I all of a sudden was just like threw myself into like a higher level skill class, people would be like, well, you don't belong here. Like, you have to come out of this class. They wouldn't be like, well, everything's ruined because this woman is here and she doesn't know what she's doing and she's making everyone's life harder. They'd be like, no, you don't belong in this class. Like, come out of this class.
Right.
Like, it's the same thing with our kids. It's like not their fault that they don't know what they're doing. Right. They have to be like removed from that for us. Like, we are, I think, twofold. We are allowed to recognize the fact that parts of motherhood are incredibly hard. And unloading that on our children is like not the answer, because it also doesn't make anything better. Like,
but also you want to turn around and look, like, where's the accountability of looking at yourself in the mirror? And I'm not taking away the fact that some children have more challenges than other children. I'm not saying that, but where is the accountability looking in the mirror of like, if my kid is struggling with something, where have I played a part in that? Am I dismissing it? Am I not? Am I not leaning into it? Am I not dealing with the tough time right now, believing that down the road it's going to get easier and easier and easier? When Garrett and I took away like his pacifier, for instance, I'm like, we're just going to dive in and take it away. The bottles, or, when I was done breastfeeding, like, we're just going to dive in sleeping. We're just going to dive in and deal with the days of it being very challenging, but long road ahead, looking farther down the line, like, it's only going to be beneficial for us. And it has been. So where do we as parents take that accountability of like blaming the child and also taking responsibilities for the behaviors that they have?
I love that you said that, because I think that it, like, truthfully, my kids are very easy kids. Like, they have no issues. They have no allergies. They have like very mild temperaments. And so for me to say something like, where's the accountability in, like, if your kids are acting a certain way, like, you have to take responsibility. Like, I know for me that is like easy to say, but I know that your son like has had some behavioral stuff and developmental stuff. And like, for you to say it and for me to say it, I feel like there's like an overlap of, either way, we have to take responsibility because we're in charge. Like, we are the ones responsible
to that.
Yes.
Yeah. There is. And that's the thing. Like, I just think that we are in a world where like accountability is like off the table for certain people with certain things. And that is something that I don't want to put on my child. And I don't want to create that for my child. Like, and we don't do that in our household. You know what I mean? Yeah. The road to get here might have had a little bit more bumps and turns and, whatever, and stop signs and redirect and whatever. And it's going to continue to have that. But it's still our jobs as parents that have chosen to have children to raise our children.
Yeah.
Look at ourselves as to what am I doing or what am I not paying attention to? It's not a matter of like right and wrong, but it's like, am I paying attention enough? What am I missing? I'm missing something, and Garrett says we almost didn't survive 3 to 4. Yeah. Garrett was challenging, especially for me when he was younger. He wasn't speaking. And like we talked about last time, like, I am the primary mom and I couldn't get away from him. And it wasn't until I started to get away from him and allow my wife to come in and allow other people that are a part of his team at school and programs and stuff to kind of be like, girl, like, we'll figure this out. But like, it's okay. Take not a step back of like dismissive step back, but like take a breath for a second. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so accountability for me is very important when it comes to this raising our children to be the best that they can be. It doesn't eliminate the challenges that we're going to go through, but where's the accountability as the parents is like, we are raising our children to deal with situations that are challenging. How do they show up? Is it going to be perfect the first time? Of course not. They're children, but it's still our job to show up for them.
And I think it's like building on that. It's our job to see and recognize like where we're not dealing with those things appropriately. Like, how are you showing up? How am I showing up when I'm really stressed or I'm, really tired, or I am really frustrated about something, or someone does something that I don't like? Like, how am I showing up? Because I think that there's like a disconnect here for a lot of parents. And I truly believe that a lot of parents, like, yes, parenting is hard. We like covered that, but I think that a lot of people struggle more because they expect that their kids are going to be better than they are. And it's like, how are they going to be better at handling a situation than you if like you are not modeling how to handle the situation in the appropriate way? And I do not fault anyone for that, because it's really uncomfortable to look at yourself and be like, where am I falling short? Like, what are my shortcomings? How do I communicate and how is it bad? Like where can I improve on my own communication? I think that it's really easy to blame And it's really hard to, like you're saying, like take accountability for how you're, like what role you're playing in all of this.
Yeah, it's very difficult to look at yourself in the mirror. And I'm talking about really look at yourself in the mirror, not just to skim over, not just to wash your face or to put your makeup on or to brush your teeth or anything. I'm talking about sitting there looking at yourself in the mirror. And I look at it as the ripple.
Mm-hmm.
I am the beginning part of the ripple. And then if I am able to take care of myself, then it's going to ripple out into my family, and instead of the other way around of like, all of the focus needs to be this way. I like
Mm-hmm.
it to go this way,
Yeah.
but it takes a very long time if you're willing to take that time and take that energy and take that accountability and take that very vulnerable awareness of like, okay, I'm not okay. And I'm not okay with certain things, but I'm projecting it on my kid.
Mm-hmm.
Something that I had a very hard time with was if I'm bothered by a relationship in my life, particularly my relationship with my mother, it would completely send me into an emotional rage. And I'm snapping at my wife and I'm snapping at my kid and I don't give a shit. And I'm and I'm like binge eating and I'm going out and doing all these things. I'm not sleeping. I'm not taking care of myself. And then I turn around and I wonder why my wife is giving me some distance, or my kid is anxious all the time, or I feel like garbage, and then I'm looking around and I'm like, I don't know what happened. I happened.
I happened.
Yes, I happened.
Hurricane me happened.
Yes. And everybody feels it. And then
Yeah.
I'm the one that turns around and is like, I don't understand what happened. And it wasn't until I started identifying that and being like, you know what? I'm in a mood right now. And because I'm in a mood right now, I'm going to remove myself, go for a walk, go for a ride, go down to our beach. We live close to a beach, go to the gym, go get myself a small coffee, go listen to some music, whatever it is. I'm like, I'm in a mood right now and I want to do things differently. Am I perfect at it? No, but I'm way better than I was, a year and a half ago.
Yeah. And it all comes down to just like being able to recognize like where I don't even think, honestly, like I've done a lot of like reflection on this because I feel like, and like I know you have been in the same kind of like boat as me, but I feel like we did like a lot of self-reflection, everything was like self in like 2020-ish era.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like now I'm kind of like, I don't even care where it comes from. Like, I don't even care why. I don't need to know why I am feeling the way I'm feeling. I just need to be able to recognize what it is. And I need to just like move away from it. Like, I don't need a why anymore. I don't need to like analyze it. I just need to be able to recognize like you're saying, like I'm in a mood from something. I need to be able to like shift out of it as fast as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And I do think there's a benefit to understanding the why, so you understand like what is triggering you, because then you can understand patterns. And at a certain point, I think it's just like extra noise. And like now as a mom and as a mom of 2 toddlers, I'm like, I don't have that extra energy or time to like figure it out. I just need the strategy that's going to get me out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that has been like a big, I guess, revelation for me this year has just been like, we just need the efficiency of like how to snap out of it.
Yes. My wife would be like thanking you for that because my wife is in the beginning process, I guess you could say, of like diving in and having feelings and whatever. And she's like, this shit fucking sucks.
It is. It's uncomfortable.
Sucks so much. And so she's getting to the point now where it's like, can we just get there? Like, I don't know how we're going to get there, but can we get there? And I'm kind of having that same revelation right now. I understand the importance of the why and the figuring it out and where is it coming from and all these type of things. And I don't know about you, but like, do you think that it gets to a point, at least it did it felt like that with me. It almost was giving me more of an excuse to stay there than it was for me to actually get to the next step. It was like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm bothered by this. It has to do with this. It came from this. So because of that, because I know where it's coming from, I'm giving myself permission to sit there longer than
Yeah.
actually like, does that make sense? Like then
Yeah.
actually getting to the next step.
Yeah. And I do think that it is a little bit permissive because you are now like, well, I have to sit here to feel the feelings to get over it. And it's like, no, I think that there are some things that we never truly get over. It's just like we get better at managing our emotions around them. And I truthfully do believe that. I think that there are some things that like everyone is obsessed with healing, right? Like we're all obsessed with healing. We want to heal our childhood traumas. We want to heal our relationships with people, like all of these things. And I think truthfully, like it's a little bit, yes, it is beneficial. Like I do think that there is some level of like healing, I guess, that needs to happen. But at some point we get stuck in it. And it's like a cycle of like, I have to sit with this. I have to like really feel it. I have to let myself, like really
internalize it and hold it. Where's it
yeah.
coming up?
And
Is it
it's
in
like,
your
no,
chest?
I
Is it
don't
my
think
yeah.
I don't think we need to. I think we literally just need to be able to be like, especially as parents, I think that the thing is that we, as moms, especially, like we don't have enough emotional energy and time to do that. And then it feels so overwhelming because you're like, well, I can't sit and feel this feeling because like I need to go make dinner or like
Yes.
I need to go like help my kids with something, like I need to go nurse my child, like there's nothing. I think that if you have the extra time to go sit and internalize these things, great. But I don't think anybody really does. I think it's just kind of like you're saying, it becomes a distraction. It becomes an excuse to waste time. And like, we don't have that as parents.
Right.
We don't have extra time to be allotting to like feeling our feelings and internalizing things. We need to just identify, okay, I'm triggered right now. Like, maybe when you're out of the trigger, you can figure it out later, like what necessarily is triggering you. Maybe it was a conversation you had. Maybe it was, something that popped up while you were doing something with your kids, disciplining your kids, whatever it may be. But like, I think we just need to be able to identify ways to take ourselves out of the funk faster.
Yeah, because for me, it's absolutely permission to stay on my phone a little bit too long, to go eat that extra cookie that I know is not, it's going and having like a treat with my kid is a purposeful, meaningful moment that I get to have and enjoy with my kid. But I know myself enough to like, if I'm upset about something, it's permission to go get that extra thing that I know is not really what I want to do because of the journey that I'm trying to be on, which is being healthier and figuring things out and my gut and my body and all these like, so that's permission for me to stay there. That's permission for me to go get that. It's permission for me to sit in my phone longer. It's permission for me to go tell my kid to go play by himself because mommy needs some more time because I'm in some fucking funk right now. Whereas now I'm able to be more mindful of it, of like, okay, you're in a funk right now. So don't be home. Go get your kid and go do something. Go out to the park, go for a walk. Or if he wants to stay home with his mom, I gotta go. I can't be in this house because I know I'm gonna give myself permission to stay in this bullshit. And I don't wanna be in this bullshit for the next 8 hours that we're all awake, because then that's gonna transfer over to me having a really shitty night's sleep. And that's just gonna, snowball and snowball and snowball and snowball. And so I think that I agree with you that this whole healing movement feels very similar to like the body positivity movement, to the, trauma bonding movement or whatever it is, like all these movements. And do I feel like that there's places for them? And maybe I'm naive, but I wholeheartedly believe that most of the foundations of certain movements, I like to believe they come from a very pure spot. Am I naive? Probably, because I like to, think positively of people, but they always get hijacked and they always get blown out of proportion. And like the cup runneth all the way over to the point where it's completely opposite of what the actual root mission of most of these come from.
Yeah. I mean, all it's doing, and I love this saying, it's like the enemy wants you to stay stuck. Like, just like, you can think of it that way. Like, you can call it the devil, you can call it the enemy, like whatever you want to call it. But like that energy wants you stuck because you do not, you don't improve anything that way. You shop more that way. You eat more, then you buy more, then you know, like there is a real.
You hurt yourself more.
Yes, it's like so much more self-destructive. And then if you don't feel good, you don't do things to improve the community around you. And like that is good for someone, probably someone who makes a lot of money, you know, like, and I can't stop thinking about it that way of like, okay, me being in my bullshit, like doesn't serve me. It serves someone else, but it's not someone that I necessarily want to serve.
Right.
And it's not supporting what I want from my life. So why am I going to keep doing that? Because that's not what I want.
Yeah.
It's not what I want for my kids. It's not what I want for my family. It's not what I want for myself.
Yep.
So like every time I'm in that, it takes me a little bit sometimes to get there. Like, I'm not going to say that I'm perfect either. Like there's plenty of times where I snap or I yell and I'm like, I didn't want to do that.
Right.
Didn't mean to do that.
Right.
But like, that's what I like try and remind myself because I'm a very like defiant person. Like you tell me I can't do something, I'm going to show you I can do it.
Watch me.
Right. Watch me. So like someone's telling me that like I should stay stuck and like, you know, you can't get yourself out of this. Like you don't need to.
This is just who you are because of what you went through and it's never going to change. It's okay because, and I think that for a very long time, I heard that. And for a very long time, I believed that where it was like, you know, your trauma that you went through as a child and as a teenager will always be the definition of who you are. And I was like, oh, this is just who I am. I'm just going to constantly be triggered by everything. And I'm going to constantly be, you know, emotional about everything. And I'm never going to like, this is just how it's going to be. And like, you're just going to have to, if you're going to be with me, you're going to have to follow suit. And I mean, I give my wife all of the credit in the world. She is a saint. She's got patience and patience and patience and patience because I look at myself now compared to who I was when we first got married. And I was like, oh my, like, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. And we're still learning a ton of shit about each other. You know what I mean? And it's like, I make that choice where I just don't want to be, I don't want to be identified as anything but me. Like, hi, I am Colleen. I'm a wife. I'm a mother. I like CrossFit. You know, like end of sentence. Not, hi, my name is Colleen and I experienced this and I had trauma and I did this and what. They're checked out already. Yeah. They're checked out already. I love the Golden Girls. You want me to talk about something for a long time? I'm gonna talk about the Golden Girls. Those are my girls. You know what I mean? Like those are the fun things I want to talk about. You know, I want to talk about those things over and over and over and over and over again. I don't want to talk about my trauma. I don't want to talk about my sexuality. I don't want to talk about anything like that. I want to talk about the fun stuff, about how I, you know, think mint chocolate chip ice cream is disgusting. I've never watched Friends before. Like I'm just saying,
I've just learned so many things about you.
Right. And if that hurts your feelings, it's okay. But like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, those are the fun things I want to chat about. I don't want to chat about the other things. And so I very much am where you are right now, where it's like, I don't have the time and I don't have the effort and I don't have the energy for this. And I think some respond with like, you just don't care. And maybe I don't about some things. But it doesn't mean I don't care about a lot of other things that now, because I don't care about those things, that I can actually spend the time and energy on the very things that I do care about the most.
Well, that's the thing is I think that if you care about everything, you care about nothing. You know, like if everything's a priority, nothing's a priority because how are you managing all that, you know?
Yep.
And I think that like a big piece of this, honestly, is that as human beings, because I see this in myself, like I like having structure. I like having guidelines. I like mentally, especially because I'm tired. Like a lot of the time, my brain
Most of
has
the
a lot
time,
of
yeah.
tabs open. Like
Yeah.
it's easier to have rules.
Mm-hmm.
And it's uncomfortable to have to formulate your own thoughts and opinions and values. And so for a lot of people, if you don't follow or fit into the rules that they have,
Yeah.
it's very hard for them to like accept you, you know? And I think that when you can let go of some of the things that you're like, I realistically, this can't be a priority anymore.
Yeah.
It happened. I can't change it. I have moved on from it. I have found better things in my life, maybe because of it. I can't care about it anymore. Like
Right.
when you free up that space, you free up space to create your values, your opinions about certain things, and then you create a lot more opportunity to see somebody that has a different opinion than you and be like, "That's interesting. Didn't think about that," or like,
Mm-hmm.
"Would love to know why you think that. I disagree, but mint chocolate chip ice cream, I disagree. Love mint chocolate chip."
It tastes like toothpaste.
That's
No,
what Gabe
doesn't
says. It's fine. I like toothpaste ice cream with chocolate chips in it.
it? That
There
little
we
bit
go.
of chocolate just puts it on a different level where it doesn't
It
taste
just
like
makes
toothpaste.
it an ice cream, You just put
Okay.
toothpaste, you freeze it, and you put chocolate chips. It becomes mint chocolate chip, and it's great.
It's great. It's perfect. It's perfect. We
It
don't
is.
always have to like the same things, which is
Exactly.
important. It doesn't mean we can't be friends.
Exactly.
We just will order two different things at the ice cream shop when we go take our kids. That's all.
Yeah, and we won't share, and it's fine.
And that's okay. But it kind of brings me into my next question of, how difficult it is to find mom friends and find mom communities and whatever. And, there's something there something was posted, and I think it was Ashley Tisdale, and I might be wrong, but this idea of like toxic mom groups.
Mm.
And I agree and struggle with that at the same time because, again, you like to think that you can find other moms that, again, are just willing to be there to be an ear and be there to support or like give you that break while your kids are running around together. But it seems very much like we were just talking about. Like if you don't check certain boxes, then you're not allowed to be in certain groups. And I felt this not in just mom communities, but especially in the special needs mom communities
Mm.
of like, if our children are not experiencing the same challenges on the same levels, it almost feels like we don't have anything to connect on other
Mm.
than the zoom out big picture of like you said, motherhood is hard and nobody understands it more than another mother, but never in the same way. You and I can
Mhm.
talk about our birthing stories, very different, but can still find common ground somewhere where
Yeah.
it's like, the first moment that my son latched onto my chest, you can attest to what that felt like for you. You know what I mean? But mine was very short lived because I had to get sewn up because I tore so badly. For you, it
Mhm.
was a different experience because you got to enjoy that a little bit longer. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like, can I be like, oh God, I wish I had that little bit longer moment, but I don't have to be like, well, that's not fucking fair. And how do you get to enjoy? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, it just feels
Mhm.
like if we're not riding the same all the time, that we just can't be there to support each other. But I know you talk about a mom group now that you have
Mhm.
found. How has that been going for you?
Well, it's so funny because you were saying that, and I was like, you got to just build your own, and that's like
Yeah.
what I did because I was like, well, all of the mom groups that are around here were either at times that we couldn't make because of nap time or
Mhm.
like days that were hard for us, or like truth be told, maybe they were too early in the morning, and like that's my workout time. Like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna, not gonna
Give it
give
up.
that up.
Yep.
Um, and or they were like, I mean, I know you love CrossFit. I like have stopped doing CrossFit, and there's a big mom group at one of the CrossFit gyms because they have childcare, and I'm like, I don't want to join a CrossFit gym. So,
Right.
like it's another barrier. And truthfully, like if that were the only thing, I would be like, all right, maybe it's worth it to go a couple days a week. But just like in general, my kids won't go to childcare, like there's just a bunch of things like that.
Yeah.
So for me, it was very much I want to have a community here. I don't fit into a group necessarily. So like, I don't necessarily feel like I have an easier place to find people because yes, I'm like more on the crunchy side, but I'm not as crunchy as a lot of the moms here,
I mean, there's a lot of crunch that goes on in these groups sometimes. I'm
there's
like,
a lot of crunch.
I'm
like a little bit more soggy. I'm not like fully crunchy.
Yeah.
I'm not fully, soup, but I needed a little bit of a balance there. And so for me, I was like, okay, I like going to the park. It's beautiful here. I would like to take advantage of that. There's a lot of like nice walking groups around here. I don't want to lead a workout. Like, I don't want to be the one that's like, come work out with me at the park. Like that sounds not fun to me personally.
Yeah.
And there are other businesses like moms that are doing that are like doing it really well. And I'm like, that's not my focus. You should like do that. That's your thing.
Yeah.
So I was like, let me just do like a walk and a play date. And I've like made it very explicit from the beginning. This walk is leisure. It is not a workout walk. Like
nobody should be sweating unless the sun is really like shining that day.
Yeah. It's like you should do a workout separately than this, but we'll do a quick walk around to the park itself so we can, check the box of we did some walking today.
Yeah.
But it's just like a play date and our kids all hang out on the playground. We all have snacks. We hang out. Like all the moms literally sit in a circle in the sun and we chat while our kids are like playing around, or, some of us like break off and like some of the kids are playing over here. Some of the kids are playing over here and like everyone's watching each other's kids. And truthfully, at first it was one other mom. There's one other mom that came and it was just me and her for like 3 weeks. Just me and her.
Yeah.
And our kids. And then another person came and then another person came. And then we met someone randomly at the park. She had no idea about our walk. And we were like, hey, do you want to come for a walk with us? And like, we've just started slowly building on it. And now we have like 6 moms that come pretty regularly. And so there's like 12 to 14 kids.
Oh my
around
gosh,
like all the
that's
time.
amazing.
It's so fun. And it just ended up working out that they're all kind of around the same ages. Like it's like 8 months to like 4 or 5 years old.
Yeah.
And it just so happens because of the time of day that it is and like the age of our kids, like they're homeschooled kids or they go to daycare like twice a week. So it's nice because we have that like day where we all hang out.
Yeah.
And it's Monday. So it's like, the first thing in your week, we kind of like start the week together and then like, it's really nice. And it's so funny because I remember talking to Gabe about like right at the beginning when I had first posted about it on Facebook after like the second week and it was just me and this other mom. I was almost like, I'm just going to text her and see if she wants to do something another day. And we just like, won't do it. And I remember Gabe, my husband, being like, no, you should just like stick it through. Like you should go, like, even if no one else goes, you still have like a day at the park. Like it's not, there's no
like,
reason for you not
what
to
it
go.
Is when you're going and yeah.
But truthfully, like it really is uncomfortable to make friends as a mom. I have one of the moms is actually moving and we were just talking about this the other day. We were talking about how like we are so bummed she's leaving and she was like, yeah, I know. I really feel like I just made like a good group of friends here and now I'm leaving. But truthfully, like I feel like, yes, it's hard to like fit into a group that's already established. But at the same time, I feel like as moms, we have such an in to make friends because you can literally talk to anybody at the park. Here's the problem though. You have to initiate conversations with people.
Yes.
And that's hard because that's uncomfortable. But like at the same time, you could talk to anyone at a park that had kids with them and be like, oh, how old's your kid? Like mine is, 9, mine is 4, mine is 3. like we have that like initial connection with people, and then you can kind of like snuff out if they're like, you know, cool, your friend, like whatever it is. But making friends is just hard, I think, in general. I think we just,
Oh, for sure.
yeah.
For
I think one
sure.
thing that has definitely helped me though is I started a Monat business, like selling shampoo,
I
and
was gonna
doing
ask you about your business.
it's amazing. But what I was going to say is just like being in a social selling business, like a network marketing company, you have to just get comfortable talking to people. And it's
Mhm.
really helped me, like on a personal level, just be more comfortable making small talk with people in random places. Even if I'm like not trying to talk to them about their hair, I
Mhm.
just like have had so much practice talking to random people about shampoo of all things. Like it's such
Yeah.
a like silly thing that you just get comfortable talking to people about other stuff. And so if there's anything I could tell anyone, it's like do improv or like join a network marketing company where you like have to learn how to do sales, because then you get comfortable talking to random people at any point, and it's so
Mhm.
much easier then to make friends. And as a mom, it's like really uncomfortable to talk to random people. But
Yeah.
I don't know. It's been fun, I feel like, to be a little uncomfortable in a different way, and just like
Mhm.
I challenge myself every time we go to the park, like I have to talk to two people.
That is a big challenge.
It's a lot. Sometimes
It's a
I'm like,
lot.
I don't really need to talk to anyone. The kids are
Yeah.
kind of crazy right now. They're running
Yep.
around a lot. I need to
Yep.
like, I could talk myself out of it so easily, but it has just helped me feel, I just saw someone say, oh, heart. Yeah, I know. But I will say, it makes the time more enjoyable, because you're like, otherwise you're just so focused on your kids the whole time, and like they don't need you to be focused on them. They need to like have space and time, and like, feel like you don't need to hover over them. And
Right.
I feel like if I'm hovering, they feel like they need to be close to me. But if I'm like casual, talking to someone else, enjoying my time, they feel like they can go
Do some things.
talk to someone else, play with another kid. Like it just I feel like it helps in all aspects.
Yeah.
And it makes me feel less alone. Like I love my kids, I love being with them, but they're not adults. And so
Yes.
like I need adult energy, and I recognize that about myself. So like being able to just, even if I don't even like connect with this person long term, being able to like have a small conversation with somebody at the park is great.
Oh, I'm totally that loner that's sitting at the table by myself
And I
because
would
it's
talk to you. I would
and that's
100% go up to
fine.
you and be
And
like,
that's fine. But it's so interesting to me because I can have small talk. Like if I'm in the deli with my wife and we're just hanging out, like I can have small talk. If I'm at the gym, like when I used to work the desk at the gym, I can have small talk. When I was coaching classes, I could have small talk. But for some reason, going to a park and engaging in conversation with other parents, like there is just something, there's like a block in me that I just don't have. And I don't know if it's because I just don't have the energy to kind of listen to whatever the petty little talk is going to be that day. So maybe I'm
mhm,
not that good with small talk when it comes to being at the park, but or maybe because I've had so many encounters where it's kind of like I don't care what they're talking about, or it's, you know what I mean? And maybe that's a little off-putting just from myself. Maybe that's something I need to look into, but like
mhm.
it's way different. Yeah, as I love this person's handle, your mom. It's
Your mom.
selective. Um I selfishly choose play dates with who the parents are going to be.
Yeah.
So, because there's
I
been
think
a
that's
couple of
important
times,
though.
yeah, because there's a couple times that I've been like, you know, yeah, we can reach out to whoever, this friend is that you have at school or from, a sports team or something like that. Like, yeah, we can go hang out with them or whatever. And the parents and I just don't mesh. And so I'm like, oh, I just don't want to I'd rather go spend my time hanging out with him by himself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And go do something with just him. But you can come, sit down at the bench and talk to me, but I'm not there yet where I'm going to initiate conversations with other people.
Well, I think that though being selective is helpful, because then you choose who you talk to,
Yeah.
Otherwise you're at risk of someone like me coming up and talking to you randomly. You don't get to choose the small talk then.
So I have to bring a friend is what you're saying. Don't be out there by myself
Don't
because
be out there by yourself. I will come talk to you. Yeah, but seriously, like it has just helped me feel, because also, well, on your point of like you're only going to make play dates with people who's like with the parents that you like.
Yeah.
I think that's really important, because if you like them as people, they're probably raising their kids similar to how you're raising yours, and
Yeah.
that, or how you want to raise yours, or like there's something meshing there. And that's important. Like I think that
Yes.
coming from a place of like, we have to be protective over our kids in that way. Like, I don't want my kids. I just think about when I was growing up, I was always, and I don't fault my mom for this because I think that she has such a good heart, but she was always the one that was like, go talk to the person that has no friends. Go talk to, like, go be that person's friend. And a lot of times that person didn't have friends for a reason.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
and I think that I was, I think that for better or worse, I was like subjected to kids that like were not raised in a way that my parents would have been happy with.
Yes, for sure.
But because, yeah, don't want them around the hooligans. Exactly. Like
Yep.
I was friends with a lot of hooligans because they were always the kids that like were the outcasts, you know?
Yeah.
And then I was drawn to the outcasts. And it makes sense because my mom was like part of an outcast group of friends. Like she was like a ragtag group. So like I don't fault her for it because that's how like she grew up. But I don't want my kids, I want my kids to be kind, but I don't
Yes.
want them to
Be
search
persuaded
for
or
trouble.
followers, or yeah,
Yes.
you want them to be able to have their own opinions and have their own thoughts. And
Right.
yeah, I'm the same way. Like, be kind, but also teaching that not everybody is going to be kind back, and it's okay if someone's not kind back. Like, you don't have to keep trying to make them be kind, you know?
Right. It's not your job to make them be kind. It's not your job to make them your friend. Like
Yes.
you do not have to, you can't control other people and you can't control the way they act. And if they do something that you don't like, you can tell them. And if they don't
Yep.
change it, that's not your friend.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Yep. Need to be more discernment. Yep. Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But that's what we do as parents. We're always
Yeah.
paying attention to what's going on, you know, and there are a couple kids in Garrett's school, you know, not just in his grade, but a couple kids in his school that I'm like, you can know who they are and you can be respectful and kind to them. But like, this is not like a, we're going to get together all the time kind of thing. Cause we don't do
Yeah.
that. That behavior over there, like, we don't do that, you know, and it's okay to say that, because then circling back to where we started, like, it's that parent's responsibility to correct that behavior. And if that parent's not going to correct that behavior, I also have the right to say that is not appropriate behavior, and we will not be associating ourselves with someone that can't, you know, act accordingly and appropriately.
Exactly.
It's just not happening. So,
Yeah.
that's why I'm very selective on who my kid hangs out with and also who I hang out with, because
Seriously though, you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Like, why are you
right.
going to bring that average down?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Well, this has been very, very fun. But before we go, I want you to tell me all about your business. I want you to, because I know the last time we talked, you know, kind of had a couple clients, you know, but you kind of had stepped away and really focused on being home. And, you know, now you have this, you know, at home business and you're still a full-time stay-at-home mom. And, you know, you talk about how you can be a businesswoman and also lean into the joys and like time and energy to prioritize still being a stay-at-home mom. So tell us about your business and what do you do and what made you lean into doing like an online business like this?
Yeah, well, I had been coaching, so I've always kind of had an online business, but once I had our first kid, I was like, I don't have the emotional energy anymore to like hold that kind of space. And I was doing nutrition coaching, but it was I'm a nutritional therapy practitioner, so it was a little bit more in depth, like functional nutrition and health coaching. And truthfully, it ended up being just like very kind of like therapy for people, and I couldn't hold that space for people, and I didn't feel like it was most effective for them in actually making changes. There were some of my clients that made amazing changes and they have still had lasting, you know, support with that, but it just was something that for me, I didn't feel like after having my son, I wanted to devote that much emotional energy to other people. and I love my clients, but like it just was what it was. And so I decided to take a step back from coaching. And then kind of like randomly, because I had been using this shampoo for like 2 years before this, basically. Or not even 2 years, I think it was a little bit more, maybe 2.5, 3. But I've been using the shampoo, and randomly I saw one of my she was an acquaintance here, wasn't even a friend yet, but she was like had been in the CrossFit world. Then now she's a doula, and like I had kind of had a similar path of like was kind of in the CrossFit world, was getting very interested in birth because I'm, like I get obsessed with things that are interesting to me. And when I got pregnant, birth was like insane to me. It just like opened a whole new portal of information that I like wanted to know. And she had been selling shampoo. And I was like, well, this kind of sounds nice because I can have an online business. I had been working with another beauty brand, but they closed. And I was like, I made some pretty good like affiliate money with that. And I was getting really burnt out with doing just affiliate links for things. I was like, trying to build up an affiliate profile and having like all these different brands, and I would get a commission from things. But I was literally making
sending
like
your link out. Hey, click this link. Hey, click this
yeah.
link. Hey,
And it was
click this link. Yeah.
It was exhausting to keep track of because like how many links do you need? And it was exhausting to keep track of. And I didn't like that I had to constantly be encouraging people to buy things. It just felt so icky to me, especially because in our own home, like minimalism is a value of ours, like not acquiring so much stuff.
Yeah.
So it just felt like weird and not authentic to me to be like, you need to buy this. And like, there are some people, stay-at-home moms especially, that are very successful with Amazon storefronts, but they're constantly pushing links and constantly, they're constantly buying things. And I was like, I don't want to do that. But I wash my hair and I love this shampoo. I'd been using it for, like I said, like 2.5 or 3 years by that point. And I saw my friend that had been selling it. She was selling shampoo. And I was like, you know what? I'll try that. Like, that sounds like a thing that I could put some energy into, but not a ton of energy. I'm already using the products. I already love them, blah, blah, blah. So I signed up and I did nothing with it for like 8 months. And I just kept using the products and kept learning about how to use the right products for my hair. And finally, something just like clicked in me. And I was like, why am I not actually trying? Like, why is it so weird for me to like just try and build this?
Right.
And I think I had kind of like a discomfort in selling, social selling, being like committed to one thing, which was like it's low tox hair care. So for me, it was like very aligned with all of the other stuff I was talking about, but it just felt like, well, I've never talked about hair stuff before. So like, why am I going to talk about it now? But I like dove all the way in, and now I am absolutely obsessed with building this business. I think it has been so fun as like a creative outlet for me. And just like the people that I have helped so far switch their products, like it's a lot of moms that have had postpartum hair loss because we have a thickening serum, and I use it and I'm obsessed with it because it helped my hair. But like, and I know why it works, but hearing other people tell me about how much they love it because how it helped their hair, I'm like, it's just so cool to see that, because you don't think about your shampoo as something that can like really help you feel like yourself again postpartum, but like your hair is an extension of the rest of you. And if your hair looks good, you are, you feel good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Somebody, I forget who it was, but somebody recently was like, your hair is like an accessory. So if your hair is done and you feel good about it, like your outfit's complete. And I thought that was such a fun way to think about it. But yeah, so long-winded way of saying that I sell low tox hair care and they have skincare that's amazing. I had eczema postpartum. I got it with Shay when I was pregnant with him, and I'm not wearing any makeup. Like I literally just washed my face and put toner on. Nothing. I promise.
Yeah.
No makeup on. And I used to have eczema all around here. It just was like where it set up for me. And I have
it. You can't really tell, but it gets
No, I
really
can't see
bad.
it, but
It gets really bad in the summer where I get these
in the
huge
hot spots. Yeah.
red. Yeah, and it's really, and my skin is so dry.
Yeah.
Like it is so dry. And I'm not wearing any foundation or anything. I'm just wearing a little mascara, but like I'm so red and I'm so dry
Well, you can't even tell in
everywhere.
here, but
I mean, it's the, circle lights that I have, so I appreciate
it's a
that.
good lighting.
But my skin is so dry. Like it's so
Mhm.
annoying that I take my clothes off and like it looks like it snowed. Like that's how dry my skin is. And
Yeah.
I've tried so many different lotions, I've tried so many different oils. I really don't want to do the whole steroid thing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I really don't want to put a topical steroid. I really don't want to take a steroid to get rid of it. But really every person that I've talked to has said kind of like that's the route to go. My
Mm.
father's skin, I mean, he has Agent Orange from, being in Vietnam, but he had to get, and that's a very different than what I'm experiencing, but
Mhm.
he had to get very intense topical steroids as well as medication. And now his skin is as clear as yours. Like he is completely cured and whatever. So I always am interested in looking into stuff that's like, how can it help my skin? But truthfully, like I haven't found anything that's
Mhm.
actually helped. So when you say skincare, do you mean just facial skincare or do you mean body skincare? Like,
They have both. I
mhm,
haven't used any of the body skincare stuff, but I actually just bought some because there's like a sale going on right now.
mhm,
But some other things also, and I'm not like I am always going to talk about hair and skincare because it's something that's so important to have that's low tox.
yeah,
But I will also say that for eczema specifically, like having um, like certain supplements like omega-3s, a probiotic,
mhm,
vitamin D. Those are like three of and magnesium is the fourth one.
okay,
Those are like the four that usually will help with skin issues.
the skin issues
Omegas
versus
are like a big one.
okay,
Um, and that was what I did also separately. So
mhm,
I would like try both.
okay,
But typically you need it from like outside in and inside out, if that
mhm,
makes sense.
yeah, yeah, because I mean, I'm still dealing with gut stuff going on, and I've been on this freaking gut journey for what feels like for fucking ever, and it just
Yeah, I feel
nothing
like
seems
it's
to be
very
working.
like up and down with gut stuff.
Yeah, so it really didn't seem like it was working. It doesn't really feel like it's working. I feel like I was taking a bunch of things and nothing was really working. And, now I'm just giving my body a break. Like I'm
Yeah.
just giving it a break from all the supplements that I was taking and just leaning into like, nutrition and, um, drinking a lot more water, electrolytes, not just straight water, but like getting more
Mhm.
electrolytes, getting back into the gym, bone
Yeah.
broth, those kind of things, fermented food, like just trying to put some stuff
Mhm.
into my gut that's going to help, you know, fix what's going on or whatever. Because I was taking, oh my God, I was taking so many supplements and I'm like,
Yeah.
it's not working. It's
It's the
not like
same as
nothing's,
like the healing thing, like
yeah,
sitting with the trauma, like
yeah,
supplements are a big thing too. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. I'm like very much on the like less is more for supplements, but
yeah.
those were I started with a probiotic and then I've since cycled off, but omegas, magnesium, and vitamin D have been like the top things.
The top three. Yeah.
Um, Mostly because they're just harder to get from food. Like fish, you actually probably have really good quality fish where you are. So you
Hmm.
could, if you can eat more like fatty fish, that would be
Yeah.
great.
Yep.
Um, but yeah, I'm so in the same camp of like less is more with all of these things. Like
Yeah.
if you can get it
Yeah.
from food, do that
Yeah.
because
I just
it's just
feel
you're
like
spending a
I
lot of
just,
money.
yeah, that too. It was so much money. And that
Mhm.
it's like, put this and do this and take this. And it's just like, I don't know. I just want to wake up and not feel bloated. That's it. I want to eat a salad and not feel bloated. I want to eat some good food and not feel bloated. I want to, you know what I mean? Like I just feel bloat all the time. And it's so frustrating, but
Yeah.
I'm very impatient as most of us are. I am
Yeah, I
super
mean, I get it.
fucking impatient. So right now I'm just like, this is just what I'm going to try for the next 6 months, see how I feel in 6 months, make some changes, add some stuff if I want to, but really kind of just keep it as low invasive as possible, because I just feel like everything is so, and I'm like you, I'm that obsessive personality that like, if I see something and I'm interested in it, I'm going to dive right into it and I'm going to change everything. And, we're going to throw away all this stuff and we're just going to do this stuff. And so I'm also changing a new leaf where it's like, it's cool to learn and read stuff, but at the same time, I don't need to dive all the way into the, these 20 steps. I can start where I know bone broth is really good for your gut and fermented food is really good for your gut. So I have kimchi in the morning. I have pickled beets with a little snack that I have, and I have sauerkraut that I put on every salad that I have. So like, I'm just trying to get more fermented food into my gut. And then I have a cup of bone broth, or I cook a lot more with bone broth. So my rice is cooked in bone broth. If I make pasta for my kid, like I'm doing that stuff. Like I'm not just cooking with straight water anymore. If I am making, a turkey burger or beef for tacos or whatever, I'm just adding a little bit of bone broth in that instead of straight water. Like I'm just adding, I'm like, what is the thing that's going to help my gut? Let's just increase that stuff. You know what I mean? So my wife actually got me to drink tea, which I don't really like tea, but there's this one tea that she's like, just try this. And I'm like, all right, I'll try this. So drinking like tea once in a while, just trying to do some things. But I love that. I love that. Just leaning into
vitamin C. Vitamin C helps with collagen production. So you could also just incorporate more vitamin C foods.
Okay. I do the collagen in my coffee too every morning.
Yeah, great.
So I definitely do that every morning. But I might reach out to you about that that serum, because I am thinning. You can't really, I don't know if you can really see it when my hair's in a ponytail. Like I am thinning really bad. So I might reach out to you for that serum to get, because I saw your baby hairs. I saw all your videos with your baby's hairs.
Look at this.
That's insane.
These are all, and this is all like,
you said postpartum, right?
This is all postpartum, but I keep getting new hairs. Like there's constantly new growth. Every time I look, I'm like, oh, I have a new hairline again.
You have bangs.
I have bangs.
Yeah. That's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah. My hair is dry. It's falling out. And so I might, we'll talk hair, because I'm 2 seconds from cutting my hair unless I do something.
No, do not cut it.
I know, but it's falling out everywhere. Like it's dry. It's not, I don't do much to it. It's either, you know what I mean? Like it's in a braid, or it's on top of my head, and I try to wear it out. But if it's not, like, perfect for me is wash and then dry, but air dry. Like that next day air dry is like perfect. Whether I sleep with it wet or I sleep with it dry, that next day is like perfect. And then I'm like, my hair is dry again, but my scalp is oily. Like it's all weird. There's a lot of stuff going on.
And that's the thing that I think a lot of people have a misconception about, because I am like the queen
Joseph, shut up. This is a mom show. This is a PG show. We don't talk like that in here.
Oh my God, I didn't even see that one. That's funny. I was like, shave your head. Don't do that either.
No, tell G to stop being so rough. This is a parent show. This is a PG show.
This is
not at all.
PG. Okay. What I was gonna say is the misconception, I feel like, because I've talked to a lot of people and they're like, oh, I don't really care about my hair. But it's like, okay, but if it's dry, if it's oily at the scalp, but dry at your ends, like those kinds of things, you don't need a lot of products to like resolve the issue. You just need to like rebalance your scalp. It's the same as your skin microbiome. Like we need to there's something imbalanced here that's making your roots oily and your ends so dry. Like there's just like an imbalance somewhere. And usually it's like your shampoo and conditioner, just you need to make a swap there. Sometimes it's adding a leave-in conditioner. Sometimes like the serum could be great because that helps with strengthening your strands and keeping them nourished while they're growing out. But it does not have to be like I am the queen of like, it has to be 2 or 3 steps or I will not do it.
That's what I'm saying. Everything is like a 12-step program. No. And I don't every single day or 3 times a day, you like skincare lines. you have to put this on and then this on and then this on and then leave this on for 20 minutes, but then wash it off and then I don't have time for that. I need like, I can wash my face with one thing and moisturize with the next thing, or I don't have time for it. I'm not doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. The skincare that I love from them is like a water-based toner, a serum, and then like sometimes I do a moisturizer, but like 2 or 3 products and like that's it. I cannot do more than that. If it takes more than 2 minutes, I'm really not.
I'm not going to follow through with it. You remember that? Oh my God. What was that? We grew up on it. It was on all the TVs. What was that skincare?
Oh,
come in a box. And it started with a P. Proactive. Yeah. And it was like the 6 steps. And then you start off with the basic 3, but the basic 3 wasn't enough because you needed to add this, this, and this. And then by the time you ordered everything, it was like 12 products and you had to do them specifically. And like I said, 3 times a day. And I'm like, I'm spending all this money and I don't have shit for it. Like,
and you know, it was so messed up about it. It was like marketed for teens and like, guess what? You just had to go through puberty and like eat less.
And then you were fine.
And you would have been fine.
And you would have been fucking fine. Like we're going through puberty, we're going through hormones right now. And
do you know how many chemicals were probably in that stuff too? Like how many of us fried our skin during puberty just to like not have some pimples?
So many things. And then you turn around and then, you know, girls are getting on birth control because of acne. And it's like, you just have to go through that. I mean, we go through it as adults. When we go from, you know, puberty and now we're all getting close to premenopause and then menopause and like, we're just going to go through it. But it's like, how do you keep the steps simple to not put a bunch of shit on? It's with everything. Everything for women is doused in chemicals. Yeah. We are meant to take things and wear things and use things that constantly messes up our internal hormones and our reproductive systems. And, you know, you wonder why you hear so many devastating stories of miscarriage or infertility or unable to, you know, to get pregnant or difficult pregnancies or, you know, all these type of things that just don't make sense. And it's like, we think that we're doing all of these things to help ourselves or we enjoy them. Like if you enjoy makeup or, you know, I don't know, using a fucking tampon when you have a period and then you find out that there's chemicals in tampons. Well, I don't want to wear a diaper. I don't want to be stuck in a diaper while I'm dealing with my period. So I'm using a tampon, but how much of that is actually affecting, you know what I mean? All of our pH levels down there. We're just,
but this is why it's so important to like where you can manage what ingredients are in your products, you know? And like, there is just something to be said about having like knowing what brands you can trust and what brands you just like maybe want to stay away from. And it's hard. Like, trust me, it's annoying to go into a store. Like when we were traveling, I didn't bring my full-sized shampoo products because we were going for a long time. And like, I did check a suitcase, but we weren't going to check suitcases. We were going to multiple places. And so I wasn't checking a suitcase everywhere. And so I like had to go buy shampoo, you know, in a drugstore. And I remember like walking through and being like, I would literally never use any of these.
None of them.
None of them.
And it's really hard because you listen to the commercials and you read what you think you know. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, you find out that this product actually contains this in it. And it's like, you know. And then it's not accessible in stores, like you said, you know, and for me, like you have to weigh the pros and cons of it because like, it's frustrating if you find something that you love that you always have to order online. Like it would be nice for me to just go into the store, you know, or for you, it's like, oh shit, I ran out and I forgot to order it. I can just go to the store and I can get a small bottle until you know what I'm saying? Like that's the frustrating part of like finding the things that you like, or like you said, the brands that you trust and everything is online. Like nothing is in stores.
Yeah. I know that's like such a blessing and a curse because for me, it's like, oh great, I don't have to go into a store to buy this. Like I can just buy it online. But then there's like those times where you're like, dang, I really wish I could have bought.
Like I just want to go into the store and get a bar of soap and not have to worry about all of the, you know, chemicals that are in soap. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, but we do the best that we can with what we got. And And I think the most important thing is, like you said before, just constantly being willing to learn and try different things and see what works and see what,
Yeah.
if it's going to make you feel better or if it doesn't make you feel better. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I think that that's kind of just where I'm at right now, where it's like, I want to try things, but I also don't want it to turn into, like you said, like a 12-step program,
Yeah.
every
No,
single time. So
I'm with you. I literally like wash my hair twice a week. I have
twice a
3 things
week.
I put in my hair. I wash my hair twice a week. Yeah.
Oh, no, that's not me. I can
Mhm.
barely make it a day and a half
Yeah. There's
before I look like I'm either soaking wet or I don't bathe. And I'm like, I can't do either of that. So
yeah, I like in the summer I was washing my hair maybe like 2.5, 3 times a week because
yeah.
of how sweaty it is, like how
Oh,
hot
of
it is
course.
here and how humid it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, usually I'm at 2 times a week now. There was a point though, and I'm not proud of this, but I would go like once every 8 to 10 days not
Oh,
washing my hair.
really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was not good. I don't recommend that. Like nobody should do that. It's not good for your scalp. But
Yeah.
it was like the beginning of postpartum it was right when I had Charlie. So it was like,
Okay.
I was with a toddler and a newborn. So I was
I say
like,
2 under 2. You had plenty of time to wash your hair, multiple times and go get a pedicure. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, I
it
got a
was,
pedicure, I got a facial,
yeah, spa day, like,
Um,
every other day. You were like, I'm just
yeah.
gonna go. Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
exactly, exactly. But yeah, no, I wasn't proud of that. But I will say it just like having products that are function based, like scalp health focused, function based, are very it's important because your hair is a reflection of what's going on your scalp microbiome. And so if like there's an imbalance there, then your strands are going to get the brunt of it because
Yep.
that's this is the part that's farthest away from the source of nourishment for your hair.
Yeah. Yep. So
So
what I've learned from this is that I'm imbalanced all over the place. And we
we got
gotta do some stuff.
imbalance. We just
We gotta get me balanced because I'm a little unbalanced, but unhinged. We could call it unhinged, but
we're
same, same.
unhinged. Motherhood right there.
It was awesome. This was awesome. I love doing this with you. Please
Same.
come back again. It was such a fun time. Always love having these conversations with you. And
Ditto.
I think that it's just the reason I love talking to you so much is because it's a reminder and it's permission to just be who you are and to
Thank you.
just be the mom that you want to be. And I think that we don't hear that enough. I think we hear that you have to be this mom to be a successful mom, or you have to do it, differently than your parents did because they fucked up, or you have to do it exactly like your parents did because they made you. And I think that what these conversations do is it opens up more opportunities and more choices to where we can say, this works, this doesn't work. But at the end of the day, I'm just being true to who I am and everything will be okay. As much
Yeah.
as society says that if you don't follow this, that it's not going to be okay, or if you follow this, then you're going to ruin this. I think at the end of the day, when we take ownership and build our confidence in who we are as people, it's only going to overflow into our relationships, our children, our spouses, our friends, our businesses. And that just really goes to the ripple effect that we have from the inside out. And that's why I enjoy our conversation so much, because it's permission to be you. It's
Thank
permission to be
you.
you. So come back again. Thank you guys so much
Thanks,
for hanging
Maddie.
out with us. We're going to be back tonight. Garrett and I are going to be back with Troy from Valor Fit. So come hang out with us. I believe it's 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And Arielle will be back on again at some point. I am sure of it. So have a good day, guys. And we'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.